What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and fellow hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of On the Bench with Pete. Now, I'm even more excited than usual because what I have on my bench are... well, basically, let me start again. My bench has been getting thinner in terms of what's been laying around on it, and I'm hoping to finish up this today. You know, I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. I might do a bit more gold on it, but other than that, I'm thinking it's pretty much done. It's pretty much there. You know, I'll do a bit more on my War Machine figure. Finish that one off. He's been on the bench far too long, so I can start my other interesting miniatures then. And a bit more work on Cypher. Who knows? Maybe Guilliman, maybe even those blessed gun dogs that Justin likes so much. Anyway, who knows? But anyway, let's well, before we get going, make sure you got yourselves a nice cup of something to drink, maybe something to eat, to snack on. But put this video on in the background because that's what it's designed for. Whilst you hobby, you can get stuff done that's a bit more tedious, and you can just listen to me blither on about crap, basically. So it helps to pass the time, and then before you know it, you've got an hour of painting done, or hobby done, you know, building, gluing, whatever. Or perhaps you're on your way to work, Mifos, Mr. Mifos. If you happen to be on your way to work whilst watching, listening to this, listening, I hope, rather than watching, because you've got to keep your eyes on the road there, haven't you? Anyway, oh yeah, I'm also I'm hoping this can be dry in time to paint. This is the Maori figure that Mifos sent to me in my asset drop box. I've just been carefully washing it, but needing it to dry now, so that's a thing, right? So I need it to dry. And yeah, other than that, just get your glues and paints and brushes and whatever else. And let's get to the bench. Right, here you can see my bench setup. You can actually see it. Obviously the camera is yourselves looking in. I'm zoomed out quite a ways because I've got this bit of scenery. It's quite large and intrusive, so get that done. Then I can look into you know, sealing it at some point. You could see my monitor there just in front of me, which is what I look at most of the time. That's why when I look to you guys, I sometimes look off to my right, because I'm looking there into the screen, into the monitor, to hopefully see what it looks like on your screens. Anyway, I'm blithering already, but before we go, or before we get going, I should say, not before we go, we only just got it, haven't we? Might start with this guy because, yeah, I'm just going to put a dry brush around my homemade Astro Granite base. Then I'll take him out of this holder, and then I'll put some black around. Glasses are going on, by the way. And once I've done that, I could seal him, and he's good to go off on his merry way. So Longbeard Grey for the win. We're looking for a dry brush, of course, and yeah, here we are then. So ordinarily I'd zoom in. Oh my word! Let's sort of focus out here. Just bear with me. This is the joys, the magic, the magic of YouTube. Right, zoom in a bit more here. Right, okay. So there he is. I forgot the other day to put it onto manual focus on a couple of videos, and it really showed up. I think the door behind me was played a large part in that, with the light coming through it, and it was confusing the camera. And so what I've done is I've changed the posters around, and I've put some different posters that cover up a bit more of the light coming in on it, so that we don't have that problem in the future. Well, we might do, but try and eliminate it. But that's only in case I forget, which I often do. to put it onto manual focus, because then it doesn't matter, does it? These videos are quite good for having autofocus because you know, I can be changing distances and whatnot. Now, plus I record the sound now on a separate recording device, so you don't hear the autofocus clicking away like you do on a lot of cameras. Yeah, so there he is. So I'm happy with that pretty much. And then I can take him out of the holder. Then I can Abaddon black the outside, which is good. Might pop him on a little holder, which is essentially a bottle lid. I'm sure most of you use this technique. I'm just grabbing myself some blue tack here, and then I'm going to pop this onto the out a bit. So I'm popping this onto the lid there, just so now I can just hold it. And that's going to be handy for when I varnish him as well. But black, so let's get this done. Look at this, look, Chaos Black. Still got some. Actually, it was part of some stuff I bought off a friend of mine, and that's why I've got some of these older paints. 'Cause this wasn't around back when I first got back into this hobby. I say got back into it because I suppose years ago I was kind of into it through Hero Quest. So that's just the agitator rattling around inside here. Right, okay, so let's pop this black on. I like these lipped bases for my interesting miniatures. So if I see a model, I've got these kind of contoured edging, I know it's from my interesting miniatures collection. And plus I know exactly where to store them. Or if I'm having a game and someone's actually offering to help pack away their stuff, say, where does this one go? I say, oh, anything with a base edge like this goes in that case there. Then I can just point and, you know, Bob's your uncle. So how are you guys? Hope you're doing well with your hobby projects. I vary the point at which I say this, but I do usually say it in every video. Don't forget, let me know down below what you're working on, so I can visualize that. There, so that's that done. So when that's dry, he's ready for varnishing. Woohoo! Put these back. That paint back there. So I had my friend come around. Yeah, actually it's the same friend that sold me the paints and stuff. He came around, we played some Space Hulk. I put a couple of pictures up, I think, on Facebook and Twitter and whatever, and we had a good chat. And I was hoping to talk to him, well, I was hoping to talk to him about another YouTube channel, one that we could go into together. I've mentioned this before. And what would it be about? Well, I have two other loves, other passions. Like, well, it's like passions, just things I like watching, really, and that I'd like to get involved in. One is retro computing. Now here, I have got the space. I've got the electrical outlets. I've got, you know, I've got what I would need. I've got, you know, I've got another TV up in the loft. I could bring that down as a separate monitor and stuff. Now I could do that, Trouble is, it would interfere with the space needed for my hobby, which, but it could be worked around. Because some people do it in their homes, don't they? But most of the people that do the computing stuff have got their own little man cave or whatever. I'm just looking at this to see. I think I'll dry brush some Necron compound on this. Forgive me, I'm looking for stuff. Could use Iron Breaker, but Psychorax Bronze. Could use that, I suppose. This is a bit lighter, isn't it? Yeah, might use that. So anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Yes, so retro computing. I know I'd love that, and I know that my friend would as well. But the only problem is, I discovered quickly, his personal life is not wouldn't give him the right sort of time to dedicate to something like that. So, it looks like I'm on my own in that respect. He just wouldn't be able to dedicate the time to it, which is a shame, because I'd really like that, which then crushed my second option as well. Now, the other thing I like watching, I'd like to do one of these channels where you investigate haunted places and creepy stuff. You must have seen them, like people that go, they go looking around abandoned mental asylums and abandoned mine shafts and all that kind of thing, caves, goodness knows what. Yes, I like that sort of stuff. It's not for everyone, I know, and I'm not saying any of this because I would think that any of my subscribers currently would be interested in my other interests as well as me. I don't suppose they are, or would be. They might like the retro computer stuff. So I don't want to do that on the same channel, for obvious reasons. That's a separate thing. It is. They're separate. And I'd want to keep them so. Let's just see how this comes out. Looking good. Right. I'm literally just dry brush. I might have to zoom out a bit. See lots of zooming in and out here. So, yeah, anyway, it became quickly apparent that he's not in the right place at the moment, personally, to be able to do something like that. The thing is, with the haunted stuff, or the haunted investigation stuff, if I could have a perfect team for a YouTube channel, I'd like 3 of us to do it. Maybe 4, depending, on how we got together and who does what. Because I think when you do things like you visit an abandoned mine shaft, you need that backup in case one of you gets trapped or lost. You need someone on the outside, perhaps, ready to call for help if something goes wrong. That just makes sense to me, But that said, the whole idea of it is very appealing, very, very appealing. I'd love to go around investigating haunted houses and mental homes and all that kind of stuff. Abandoned places that people just come across in the woods, all that kind of good stuff. Track down monsters and ghosts, and that's the sort of thing. I like watching that sort of thing at night. I like to try and creep myself out because I don't really get creeped out very much, but I enjoy the sensation of it. Does it stop me sleeping? Nope, because I don't get creeped out by it. I want to be creeped out by it. I want that feeling of, ooh, shivers down my spine, but I don't get it very often. That's why I used to like roller coasters so much, I guess. I used to love roller coasters. I can't do them so much now because of jolts, in your neck and stuff's not good for me. particularly with the MS. It's just not an option, really. There, we've nearly done this bit here. There, so that's that bit done. Excellent. So Psychorex bronze for the win there, definitely. Yeah. Just make sure no one's trying to contact me, that's good. Right. Ah dear. Still need to find something to highlight this with, and I'm looking for Necron Compound, I've got to be honest. So that's what I'm looking for. I think I found it, yes I have. There we go. I'll use this brush for this. Sip of tea, I think. So anyway, that's what I was hoping to talk to my friend about. Alas, I was not able to, because, like I say, you know, he's got stuff going on, which would sort of negate that. Oh, my Necron Compound. I know they're supposed to be dry, but God, all bits and pieces of it. It's drier than it should be, I feel. Right, so start dry brushing over there. Oh, I've got to do that last. I've actually got 2 Necron Compounds. I think maybe they do that a lot, but I guess my other one is the same, as I recall. Yeah, I'm not going to sweat it too much for this, because it's scenery. You know, I want it to look good. Yes, I do. But at the same time, I just want to get it on the table. Do you know what I mean? I could go around and do these skulls individually, but I just don't want to. Dry brushing will suffice. Later on, when I want to zoop up my terrain, yeah, sure, of course, I'll look at it then. In the meantime, it's going to be sealed, and that's enough for me. I'm going to do these gold bits on there though. I will do that, and then I'll call that done. Just get rid of that. You need to look into getting some more Necron Compound. Ugh. I don't know why I shut that away, because I need the gold for there. Use glorious gold. No, Balthazar will do. Let's get us gold. Copper. Balthazar gold. There we go. Here we go, Bert. I really need to wash these brushes out a bit so that I can take them out at least. Just enough. Oh. Wash them in my Masters brush cleaner. So yeah, this is how I do it. Get a nice lather on your hand. Look at that, look. And just pick down from the ferrule, from the base outwards. Rinse out again. Clean off. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I need to get some more Masters brush cleaner, actually. Blush cleaner, I was going to say. How weird is that? So although it looks on the screen like I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at the screen. True, I could look at the screen on the camera up there, but this screen is bigger. Right. Dry out the soap off my hands. I love the smell of this stuff, it's absolutely gorgeous. The Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. I know a lot of us use it, and there are other ones, but I really like that one. Probably won't be dry brushing with those brushes again soon, so I'll put them away. But I will be using other brushes. So what have we got here? Detail, come on. Regiment, character is what I'm looking for. Character, that's the one. So there we go. What else? I've been having knee problems. I've been having knee problems for quite a while now. Just the left knee. It's the knee I fell on many years ago. Let's pop these away. Well, I say many years ago. It's about two years ago. When I got my last pair of glasses, and I fell crossing the road, and I landed right on my knee. Oh, and it hurt like a son of a gun. It really hurt. It's never been the same since. Just going to finish that with some airbrush thinner. I can hear my neighbour bringing their bin in. Yes, I can. That's much better. That's better. Right. Not to lean and break any particles of this. I just want to get these wings above the door. Done. Yeah, so I landed on my knee. It's like I say, it's not been the same since. It really hurts. It's brought on the arthritis, and you know, owies. And the other thing is, I've started training back in karate again recently, at the request of my wife, who got so inspired watching the Cobra Kai, the 2 episodes that we were able to watch. She wants to learn it, so I'm teaching her. So consequently, I'm going over all the old stuff that I used to do as well, you know. And it takes its toll on my knee, I have to say. Like, today's like today. I mean, yesterday we had a heavy training session. So today I'm having to have like a day off of knee activity, as it were. So that means no DIY either, because that involves kneeling down a lot, I've found. And yeah, knee really hurts. Super enjoying training my wife though. She's picking up really well, really well. I can see an vast improvement already. And we haven't been doing it that long. But, you know, she wanted my instruction, being a 5th Dan black belt. She felt I could offer what she needed. And, of course, I don't need any of the insurance or added extra stuff to teach my wife. I just a personal one-on-one thing. But we're turning our living room into like a mini dojo, which is quite funny. And actually, I might do these rivets. We've been getting the mats to go over the floor, and it's just starting to look really good and feels really good. And we're breaking into a sweat doing it, and we must be losing weight. It's gotta help. And that's another thing, though, you see. Much as it hurts my knee, in the long run it's going to help my knee, because I'm going to lose weight again. I'll try and keep the weight off this time. I'm being really good. I went inside earlier on to make another cup of tea. There's a cupcake on the side, which I just like, nope, not touching it. I so wanted to, but I didn't. At the end of the day, my health is more important than my appetite. And I'm eating tuna for lunches now, and I'm on porridge and water for breakfast. Exciting stuff, eh? Porridge and water. I say exciting stuff, but it's not really. It's not exciting at all. But, like I say, it's helping me. And that's what's important. This is tedious. Things like this. Painting rivets on a door. There's loads of them on this. Just thought it would pop a little more, that's all. But we're doing it. Die catching. But I'm super loving it. I'm super loving how my wife's picking up, you know, what training I have to offer. And my daughter has started karate as well. But she has gone to like a more traditional style, and I mean, she was happy. She would have trained with me as well, but we need to push her out and go and do our own thing. So I said, we said, no, it's fine. You go and do a class with someone else. That's what you need to do this. She needs to build up her confidence, you see, and I think this will be great for her. So she's found a class down the road, and she's loving it already. It's only been once, and that's good. That's encouraging. And I want her to be able to do that. Of course, it's different to the style I practice, but then again, I'm older now as well, so the way I would practice would be different, anyways. Gone are the doing the Van Damme splits days. I mean, there's no need to do that. Just to show off. That was all. And when you're young and you're a kid, you can do these things. It's like, yeah, look at this, look at me. Watch this. Of course, back in the day, Van Damme movies were a thing, and everybody that could do the splits, I think, were doing them. But yeah, that'll do. That is enough. No, I'll leave that as it is. Yeah, no, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. So when that's dry, that can be varnished too. So I'm going to pop that on the floor, because it looks more like it's off the bench then, you see, which is good. So yeah, the karate training, really enjoying it. When I had MS, I struggled on for a bit. I said when I had MS, when I was diagnosed with MS, because at the moment, no known cure is there, but there probably is a cure, but hey. But anyway, yes, I digress. When I was, not long after, I suppose about a year or two after being diagnosed, I quit my classes and handed over responsibility for that to my, what was at the time my assistant instructor, who's now taken over everything, and yeah, she's running the classes now. It's her club now, so I relinquished all responsibility. But I don't regret it, because, like I say, I was struggling and I couldn't do it anymore. Not to the intensity that was needed for my students. They need someone that can be more intense, and I wasn't providing that. It was hurting, it was aching more, tired, and you can't do it when you're tired. Right. So what's next then? Is this chappy dry yet? Not quite. I'll wait a bit longer for that. Okay then, let's look at Cypher. I want his cloak to be different. Shabty Bone or Jack Bone or Black Flesh, maybe, I don't know. Carrick Stone. Fral Flesh, Zandri Dust. Zandri Dust, maybe. Fral Flesh. No, I don't. See, what else have we got here? It's a Meshy Desert, but that's too brown, I think. We got Jaundice, which is a bit like Jack Bone. This is a toughie, I've got to be honest. Yeah, not done Rackar Flesh, done that one. Flayed One Flesh, that's another one. No, I don't think so. This is pretty close to Shabty Bone, but going to be putting washes on it. So I think we'll Don't think I'll be using Xandri dust. What's Den Stone? Is that like Rakov flesh? Yeah. Deneb Stone. Another one of these old paints I've got, you see. Oh man, this... Sometimes you can have too many paints and colours to choose from, can't you? Eldar flesh? No, I don't think so. Xandri dust. I think I said no to Xandri dust, didn't I? Yeah, too brown. So what is cloak? I think we're going to go with good old Ushabti Bone, but whether maybe Jack Bone, slightly browner. Yeah, I'm going with Jack Bone. That's what I'm going with. The decision has been made. That's what I'm going with. Jack Bone. What are we at? Oh, over half an hour now. I'm doing quite well still on the old blood pressure thing, because you know they were worried about my blood pressure being high. But the thing is, they never seem to take into consideration, anybody in the medical field, that my MS meds raise my blood pressure. And I mentioned this, and they're like, yeah. You still need to lose weight, blah blah blah. Yeah, and I know that. I know that. You don't need to tell me. Obvious, really. But yeah, there you go. So, but I'm doing alright. I got down to. It's not going to mean anything to you guys, but the second green bar on my blood test monitor thing, which is it's a big deal because I've never done that before. Now I'm going to use my regiment brush, and I'm going to colour his cloak in Jack Bone. I had some sad news earlier in the week. Actually, it was on Sunday. I learnt that one of my friends from church has been given weeks to live from a cancer, and yeah, I'm pretty bummed out by that because he's probably not going to be at church again, so I won't get to see him. I probably won't get to see him anyway, you know, because the way it is. I'm bummed out by it. His name is Colin, and I'm going to mention him here. And I'm sorry to have such a sort of down in the dumps moment here on the bench, but I also use these to get things off my chest as well, and you know, things that bother me, and this bothers me. It really bothers me. He has always been the most welcoming person I've ever met. You know, he'd always, as soon as he would see me, his eyes would light up. You know, he'd come up and give me a big hug. He's an older chap. He'd call me big man, and a lot of banter, and he was always, you know, he was a funny guy. He was always the joker. And I'm using past tense now, not because I'm thinking of him as passed away already, but because I am thinking of him that he's not going to be at church anymore. He's just too poorly. Yeah, it's bummed me right out. And you know, I'm not one of these people that go around saying, oh, how can there be a God if he allows that, this and that? And no, I'm not one of those people. I'm a firm believer. Things like this, it's not gonna change the way I think, but doesn't make it any less sad for me. So yeah, so I've been thinking about him a lot lately. And his wife goes to church as well, so see her there, and you just don't know what to say to someone in that situation. I mean, sorry just doesn't cut it. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't cut it. Anyway, let's try and lighten things up again. I don't like doing that, but sometimes I need to get things off my chest, things that are bothering me, and that's been bothering me for a few days now. So I'm actually recording this on the Tuesday. You should be seeing this on the Wednesday, or listening to it. So yeah, I think Cypher looks better with a bone coloured cloak. Some washes and that'll look great. I need this hobby therapy though, I'm telling you. Yeah, I definitely need it. It was good to play Space Hulk again after So Suda. I only played it not long before that, and that's good. That's the way I like it. That's the way it should be. This regiment brush has a bristle that just keeps sticking out there. Got it. Had to do that. It just wasn't behaving. Just wasn't behaving. Can't have that. So yeah, so I'll be packing Space Hulk away soon. Well, I don't know whether I'll be doing it today or what. I've got a load of other stuff to do actually. I've got some miniatures to finish stripping. They've been soaking in Dettol for I don't know how long. Days and days. I need to get that done before they turn to mush. Well, they won't really, but I suppose if you left them long enough they would. Alright, so this is why I needed him off of his base, you see. Because to get to bits. It's an interesting cast, I have to say. So I'm holding him by his sword. I probably shouldn't be doing that. Holding by his gun. Yeah, because if I hold him by the sword, he'd probably break. No, my luck. Yeah, so yeah, life goes on. Good to be getting stuff off my bench, I have to say. That's a good feeling. May need to switch out brushes later. So I've been hearing stuff about Walking Dead. Rick's going in season 9. That'll probably be my last season. Probably. I might not, but don't know if Norman Reedus would be the next main character. Probably pull it off. I don't know. I don't know enough about his acting ability to comment. I heard Maggie's going out of it too. Sorry if this is spoilers, but you've only got to go on the internet and it pops up. It pops up. It's about the actors not wanting to do anymore, so it's a thing. It's not that I've gone off of The Walking Dead anyway, but there's so many other cool series out there. I just, spoilt for choice right now. I feel spoilt for choice anyway. This jack bone on. It's similar to Shabty bone. I think it's just only a fraction browner though. Like a minute, minuscule bit browner. So that's what I think. Getting colder again because I had my fan on out here the other day, which is great. I haven't got it on today, but then again I haven't got the heater on either, so that's good. There's an awkward place. Maybe I should have done this first with an airbrush, then the armour. Hindsight's a great thing, but hey. Cypher. It'll look better once the wash is around there. I think that'll do for him. Yeah, not bad. Pop him down there to dry. Nice. Now I suspect that my interesting miniature is going to be dry enough. To wash out some of these brushes. These aren't very good brushes, this one. Cup of tea time again in a moment, I think. Zoom in a bit more now, I think. Watch me do the amazingly interesting task on varnish. And that's a joke, because it's not interesting. Right, so watch Pete varnish miniatures. As usual, I put way too much varnish in the lid. Well, that's just typical for me. Try and get a load of it on the base. Soak it up. Then he can be showcased with some other interesting miniatures that are finished when they're finished. So that's good. That's him done. That's excellent. That's really excellent. Okay, like I said, I put way too much varnish in there, so as usual, scoop it out, pop it back. If my Maori figure's dry, I can prime her. Unlike my gun dogs, prime her by hand. Gun dogs, I hear you say? Yeah, these bad boys. They came free with some Wargaming magazine. Justin Berman of Basic Miniature Painting. He did a rant on them, how badly they were to put together, how bad they were to put together. And I admit, they weren't the best, but I have had worse. So maybe I've been really unlucky. That's all I can say. Right. So, looking at her, no, she's still a bit wet in places, so I need that to dry. That's a shame. With these, I was thinking I could just spray them with lead belcher. Could do that. But no, I airbrushed the primer on them, so I will hand brush the next stage. Still looking, it's more or less dry now. Right. So I'm going to pop her. It's quite a delicate model, so I'm going to pop her onto that. And thinking about what I'm sorry, I'm just getting it to look at my primers. I'm thinking of using a dark yellow primer on her. It's actually Vallejo dark. It's just called dark yellow. Well, these are airbrush primers, but you can prime by hand just as well. So I'm going to, with my large brush, start sticking on this yellow primer. Work my way around the model. We're nearly at time anyway, so I'll just do this and then I'll call it a day, and that will be my on the bench. Be super careful on certain parts of this model. It's quite fine. I don't want to break it. Amazing detail. Love the detail. Yeah, there are some parts that are a little bit wet still from washing the residue off, but it just waters down the primer a little bit. Not that it needs it, but you can do. I'm using a lighter primer because I don't want to not obscure detail, but sometimes like black, it's difficult to see all the detail until you actually get down to the nitty gritty of it. And I don't like that. I like to be able to see detail so I can plan what colours I'm going to use. Yeah, I think that's it. It's only primer, so I don't need to sweat it too much. There we are. There she is. Mari. Just about the right amount of primer there. So sip of tea. And I'll end it there. So thank you once again for joining me on this episode of On the Bench. It's good because I've got my piece of terrain off the bench. The sad thing is I've got other bits of terrain to come on the bench that really need to come on the bench, but I'll come to that in all good time. Got my interesting miniature varnished, ready to get off the table, and that's good. I did a little bit more work on my Cypher model and Mari, so I'm pleased with that. It's amazing how quickly an hour goes, but that's an hour of painting I don't have to do again, so I'm super pleased with that. Getting there. So thank you. Like I said, remember, all brushes lead to war. Like, share this video, please spread the word. They're currently not the most popular videos that I do, but I so enjoy doing them, and I hope that I can provide a bit of background aid to you guys as well. So it's a two-way thing, so please share the video around, and like, as I said already. So thanks ever so much for watching. Remember, all brushes lead to war, and I'll see you on the next video.